Good day, YouTube. This is from the Judge's Corner. This is going to go to the Judge's Corner. The other day, I had a conversation with my son about, he said, Dad, you should give a lot of these young men some friendly advice because a lot of them don't have anybody in their corner to talk to them about how to invest in themselves, like how, you did for us. So, at first I said, okay. But since then, I've met a lot of young men that have been coming into our job now, and notice that they don't have a plan. They're just coming into work and going home and playing video games and do what young men do, I guess. But for me, I invested in myself. The day I got my job, I planned to retire. I'm gonna say it again. The day that I got my job, I planned to retire. So I went down to the pension board and I take out my pension, my 401k, my Roth IRA, and you won't miss it. You won't miss it. You think it's a lot, but you won't miss it because you have to think about 30 years from now when you decide to retire. I myself almost ready to retire, and I have a good amount in there for retirement. You have to make sure that you invest in yourself. So one time when I started, I used to wear baseball caps with a suit on, and people would ask me, why are you dressing like that? I had to tell them that I'm the franchise. Some got it, some didn't, but I was letting them know that think about if you were a athlete, which you all are. The team that's draft you is investing in you, right? So they have to make sure that you go to get your physical, make sure that you're up to play for 10 years, 15 years, how long the sport allow you to play. They're going to invest in you, including if they trade you. So I was also once 240 pounds, and I went to my doctor, and he said, listen, you're almost pre-diabetic. I'm gonna eventually give you needles so you could lose the weight, or this is what your face is going to be. So I, after hearing him speak to me, I came home, and since then I'm now 174 pounds from 240 pounds. My pant size used to be 44, it's now a 34, okay? So I invested in myself. So I tell young men that, people say about they wouldn't date a bus driver, or a bus driver job is not good, and they wouldn't do. A lot of these bus drivers make money, okay? And with overtime, they're over their $100,000. The new contract they have, they're going to put them over $100,000. A lot of these city jobs, when you put your time in, bring you up to a certain amount. Think about it. If you're making $40,000 now, in 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 years, you may be making 50 to 60,000. The average salary for a man, not black man or white man, the average salary for somebody coming out from at that age is going to be about $40,000. So you need to start investing in yourself or what you're going to do. But I noticed that a lot of these young men, once they get the job and their salary starts kicking in, they go buy a brand new car. Why would you go buy a brand new car? A car depreciates, and I would go buy a home, which is what I did. Home don't depreciate. The values of a home go up as long as you take care of the property. You change things on the property, put things inside of the property, it goes up. Okay, you buy a new car and change the rims on the car, the value goes down. So I would invest in myself and getting my own property. First thing you have to do is take care of your credit. America's run on credit, so you have to take care of your credit. From your credit, you have $5,000 to $6,000 to $10,000. You could buy a home. You don't have to buy your home in New York City. You could buy a home anywhere in this country, as long as you have the down payment. And sometimes for a first-time home buyer, they have plans in place for you to get assistance buying a home. I tell young people, I don't pay rent because rent go up and mortgages go down. Rent goes up, mortgages go down. So I would tell young people, invest in yourself, okay? I wouldn't look for, at a certain age, I wouldn't look for a wife and children, because to me, if you're not set up for a wife and child, you're going to run into problems, okay? It's a lot of stress taking care of a family when you're not set up for it. So to me, invest in yourself And while you're investing in yourself and now you meet the person that you want, you have a better understanding of what your value system is. Right? Because first you have to value yourself for anybody to value you. And when you value yourself and you have certain things in place, they'll understand it. Okay? But first you have to value yourself. So to me, getting these jobs is to come in, set up your pension, your 401k, go to your doctor, make sure you're in good health, so that when 30 years from now you could enjoy your fruits of your labor. I myself are in my probably my last 2 years in to where now my wife and I are going to move on to do something else. We have accumulated properties and things that we drive to get as a couple. Back in the day, 20 something years ago, nobody showed us how to do this. So we had to figure it out on ourselves, including marriage, responsibility, relationships, roles in a marriage and things like that. So we're at the place now where we're at the end of our, of what we're going to do. So I tell this to young people, first thing you have to do is invest in yourself. Once you invest in yourself, okay, and you have a plan in place, you'll see your fruits of your labor. But don't think you're going to get your job Monday and Wednesday, you're going to get what you see here. You have to plan in advance. And planning takes a lot of responsibility and a lot of patience. A lot of these millionaires didn't become rich overnight. They had to plan. They had to put their 40 hours in. Some put 80 hours in a week, way more than some people think. But now that they are established, now everybody wants to come in on the end of it and say, wow, this person is rich or this person have this. But it takes time. So for you young people, I would tell you, it takes time to build wealth. It's not overnight, okay? But you have to start somewhere. And me growing up, I was never shown how to buy a home and to keep your credit clean, because this was going to happen. I learned years later that your credit has to be clean and you must have your down payment for your home. So that I did. I invested in a home, and from one home became two. We get ready to look for another third home. The other two homes are vacation homes. So when we are bored, we fly there or we drive there, and we see what we have accomplished. And it's a beautiful thing to see what you have accomplished instead of muddling around every day. I don't play video games. I'm not a homebody person to play video games. I'm more into going out and see what the world has. And once I saw what could be done in other states is when we decide that let's go around and start looking at other properties and see where this ends up. But first, again, let's get back to what I was talking about. You have to invest in yourself. If you don't invest in yourself, who will? Some of these young men, while talking to them, and I'm talking to men only, okay? I can't tell a woman how to be a woman. So they would tell me that, they didn't have their dad in their life, and their mom sometimes says stuff to them like, your dad wasn't this, so you're not going to be this. That's taking away a young man's ego and his ability to even thrive in what he's supposed to be doing. So some of these young men are staying home playing video games and mom is taking care of them. You're not supposed to have your mom take care of at a certain age. So that's why dad is very important in the house, because at some point you're going to have your own family and you're going to have to provide for them. But it starts with you and you first. So you have to invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. First thing is your health. Change your attire. You don't have to walk around the street looking like you're a thug. Dress to impress, what my grandmother used to say. So I learned that from a lot of the OGs back then, that what you put out in the world is what you're going to get back. So to me, what I put out in the world is what I'm looking to see back. I have mentored some young men on buying properties, and some of them thought it was a bad idea. I mentored 6 of them. 5 of them bought their own homes, living a good life. They put themselves together first, and then they went out looking for their wives and have children, and they're living a good lifestyle. But to me, first you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of anybody, because the person you're taking care of will see it, and they will come and follow you. But first, be a leader, not a follower. You don't have to follow your friends or follow the crowd or follow the media. First, take care of yourself, and everything else will fall in place. So for you guys, this is my second video that I'm posting. First, take care of yourself. Invest in you and you only first, and everything else will fall into place. So YouTube, have a nice day.